Okay. Okay, so we're going to start with asking about ages. Okay, since you have the numbers, so last week we did 0 through 20. Okay? Wie sagt man how?
Wie.
Wie. Good. Okay. The next word you need is alt. I would try that. Alt.
Old.
Okay. How do you say that word? Bist. Everybody, bist.
Bist.
Okay. Wie sagt man you? How do you say you?
Du.
Du. Good. Okay. And that's your question. Put it all together. Wie alt bist du?
Wie alt bist du?
What does that mean then, do you think?
How old are you?
How old are you? Yep, it's literally word for word. How old are you? Okay. Okay. Wie sagt man I am? What's your first word? Ich. Good. Good. So try that. Ich bin. Okay. And then you're going to fill in whatever your number is. Okay. You don't need to announce to the class. Okay. And then after that, you're going to say Yara. Try that. Yara.
Yara.
Okay. What word do you think we need after that? Alt. Good. Okay. So I'll fill in a random number here. What number is 14? 14. Mm-hmm. Good. Okay, so ich bin 14 Jahre alt. Try that. Ich bin 14 Jahre alt. Good. What's that mean? I am 14 years old. Yep. So they will say just ich bin 14 or 14 if you ask them, but we'll practice the full sentence. All right. How would you ask, how old is he? What's your first word? Wie. Next word? Alt. Next word? Ist. Good. Yeah, I've seen that one before. Like, who is that? So, ist is is. Yeah. Wie alt ist er? Good. Put it all together. Wie alt ist er? Good. How would you answer the question? Full sentence. Tell me he's 15 years old. What's your first word? Er. Then? Ist 15. Sehr gut. 15 Jahre alt. Schön. Gesundheit. All right, so try that one again. Er ist 15 Jahre alt. Okay. So he is 15 years old. We won't write it down, but how would you ask, how old is she? How old is she? Wie alt ist sie? Good. Yeah, so all you had to do is change er to z. Everything else is the same. Okay. Okay. Moving on. Other random phrases. Okay. If I said this, What do you think that means? Uh-huh. Good. Okay, try it. Mein Name ist. That's it. So just another way you could answer the question. How would you ask, what is your name? Not using the heist thing, but literally word for word. What is, I'll help you with the your if you need it, and then name. Was ist? Rhymes with mine. So you just have to change one letter. Dein. Okay? So was ist dein? And then what? Name. Everybody, was ist dein Name? All right. More random phrases. Okay, try that one. Herzlich. Herzlich. Again, herzlich. Willkommen. What do you think that means? Have you seen willkommen before? You probably have. Welcome. Herzlich willkommen. It's just welcome. Literally a heartfelt welcome, but willkommen. That would be one that you need to be able to recognize. You won't have to be able to spell it. Okay, but if you see it on a quiz, you should know what it means, but you don't need to be able to spell out herzlich willkommen. Okay. Yeah. All right. If I wrote this down, and said it's pronounced Vorname, do you have any idea what that word means? Close. First name. For, like before. So it comes before your last name. Okay? So everybody try that one. Vorname. Okay? So first name. So how would you ask, what is your first name? Ist dein Vorname. Vorname. Was ist dein Vorname? Yep. Okay. How about that one? Try it. Familienname. Okay. Last name. Yeah, family name, literally, right? So it's the name that belongs to your whole family. Right? So that's the last name. So you could ask the same thing. You know, was ist dein Familienname? Okay. Both of those are also ones that you need to be able to recognize. You don't need to be able to write it out. Okay. You should know, too, that sometimes instead of was ist dein Name, they say wie ist dein Name. So know that both of them exist. So it's asking for your name again. So wie ist dein Name? Alright. More random phrases that you should be able to recognize. Okay, so again, you don't need to produce these, okay? Yay. Fit it. Okay. So, wie ist deine Telefonnummer?
What's your number?
What is your telephone number? Yep. So if that was on the quiz or whatever, then you could put in a fake telephone number or whatever. Okay? But notice it's not what is your telephone number, it's how is your telephone number. If you're going to answer that question, just tell me that the number is like 555, right? How would you answer that question? Well, with the full sentence. Meine Telefonnummer ist 555. Ja, gut. Okay. So meine Telefonnummer ist blank. Okay. Cultural info about telephone numbers. Okay. Each city in Germany has its own area code. Nope. Because here we have regions that have telephone. So Rosemont would have its own code. Apple Valley would have a different code. St. Paul would, each decent sized city has its own. Okay? So if you're within that city, just like here, you don't have to dial the code to get to a different city number. Right? But if you are outside of that city, then you do have to dial it. Okay? So you'll see phone numbers that look like this. You don't have to write this down. Okay? So that's the area code. They actually have area codes for their cell phones. So your cell phone number is not a city code. It's a cell phone code, essentially. So even if you lived in Apple Valley, your cell phone number would be a different area code than your house phone number. Just kind of an interesting idea. Okay, so 0173 is one of those cell phone codes. Pretty popular one. Okay, then depending on how far or how big of a town you live in, the number that comes after it, so your actual telephone number, I've seen as small as 3 digits. Okay, is up to 8. Okay, so if you live in a bigger city like Munich, for example, or Berlin, they're going to have more than one city code because they just have too many people living there. But otherwise, you could have, like Rosemont would probably be like a 4, maybe 5-digit phone number after that. They write them in chunks of 2. So like 37, 05, 6. Or maybe that's your phone number.
Aren't all numbers 10 numbers?
In America, but we're talking about Germany. And they're not the same. Okay. So, like I said, and this was very confusing to me at first because I couldn't figure out how the person I was dialing the first time I went to Germany, how they had one that was only like 3, 4 digits long, and the other phone numbers I had encountered were 7, 8 digits. So, to me, it looked like somebody had left off a bunch and they had forgotten the rest of the phone number or something. But they do exist. So, a small town, like, what's a small town now here? Empire or something, right? Empire Township or whatever. They probably have 3 digits, and that's it. And that's probably plenty.
There's the town, and there's only 20.
The other thing to know is that on a landline, you get charged for every single phone call. So here you don't. If you're dialing locally, so within Minnesota essentially, you do have to dial like 507 or 320 or whatever. Those would be charged calls for us. But otherwise, the 651s and the 952s and stuff, those are just local charges, so you don't get charged anything special for them. In Germany, though, every single phone call that you make, not the ones you receive, but just the ones that you make, get charged. And the further away the phone call is, the more you get charged. So they have a little thing that like spins next to your phone. So if you live with a bunch of people, a lot of people actually write down the numbers that are there at the beginning of the phone call and the numbers there at the end, so that when they get the bill, they can divvy it up based on how many minutes you spent on the phone. That's kind of cool. So if we're in Rosemont and dialing somebody in Rosemont, it'll go pretty slow. The number will slowly turn. Yeah. If we're dialing Apple Valley, go slightly faster because it's not real far away. If we're dialing Duluth, a little bit faster. Florida, faster. Dialing Germany, it's like, whee! Okay? So you do get charged for everyone, and that's different too. But cell phones are just as popular over there as they are here, so now most people just use their cell phones and don't worry about it. So most of them have flat rate plans, just like you guys, so. Alright. Alright. Moving on. Other random vocab. Try that. What's the first word? Ish. Try the second one. Rufa. Okay. And the last word? An. Put it together. Ich rufe an. Means I'm calling, or I will call. Okay. It actually means I'm calling, I will call, I call, and I do call. All four of those wrapped up into one sentence. So that's kind of nice. All right. Another one that you need to be able to recognize. Try that one. Hund. What do you think it is? Dog. Mm-hmm. Like hound. Very close to hound. Okay. And we'll get into this a little bit later, but each capitalized word in German has a der, die, or das word with it. So just like French and Spanish and stuff, they have genders assigned to them. Okay. So that one's pronounced Deutschlehrerin. What do you think it means? Well, it's not a dog. It is German something. Ich bin eine Deutschlehrerin.
Cat?
It's not an animal. Well, not really. It's not a furry creature with 4 legs. German something. Use your minds. Ich bin dein Deutschlehrerin. Ich bin eine Deutschlehrerin.
I am in.
German. Ich bin ein Deutschlehrerin.
I
Is
am
that
German
kind of?
class.
Ich bin.
German teacher.
Yeah.
So Melissa.
Okay. So this is a female German teacher. They do specify with their spelling. So this IN is what makes it female. So Deutschlehrer is a male German teacher. Deutschlehrerin is a female German teacher.
Technically, I said German class. Ursula.
Still recording, Jessica. Okay, next one. Those are 2 N's. Kind of goofy looking N's. Okay, try that one. Dan. Okay. Dan means then. Couple more and then you're done. It's a U in the middle. It's a D word. Okay. Try that one. Freundin. Oh, come on. Freundin. Okay. So, Ursula, Jessica ist deine Freundin. Yeah. It is a friend, but can you tell me any more about it?
A female friend.
Female friend, because that IN in there. So if it was a male friend, you get rid of the IN. Okay? Okay. Try the next one. Kind. Oh, come on. Kind. Any idea?
Kind.
No? child or kid. Yeah. So you've seen this word before. Kindergarten.
Oh, isn't kindergarten a German word? Isn't it?
Yes. Kindergarten is a German word. Kindergarten in German, though, actually means it starts in preschool and goes through what we refer to as kindergarten, because their kindergartens are private, so they're not in their schooling system, so you pay for them separately. Okay, so you have seen that quite a bit. So kindergarten is the German word. You don't need to know that one, but so Kinder is plural, is kids, children. So literally, it's a Garten is another word for a nursery, so it's literally where you're raising children. Right? The only other one that I want to point out to you, you already have in your yellow sheet, so I'm not going to make you write it all out because it's one that you just need to be able to recognize. So on your yellow sheet, it is Nummer 6. Nummer 6. What does Nummer 6 mean? Number 6. Good. So Nummer 6 on your yellow sheet. It says, Wie buchstabiert man das? Remember what that means? Wie buchstabiert man das? How do you spell that? Yep. Good. So since we were doing alphabet in this section as well, you need to be able to recognize that phrase. Wie buchstabiert man das? How do you spell that? So that you know what that means. Okay? And that is it for your notes.